So guys, today topic is Zhao Lusi and Wang Yibo with the consent of hashtag zhaolusi. Her friend has just revealed a horrifying anecdote on Lucy being physically, verbally, and emotionally abused by people in her company since 2019. I'm truly furious. These are some things I want to reveal as her good friend. Back in 2019, something happened that I've been keeping in my heart for a long time. It wasn't until I came to Hangzhou and saw her sitting in a wheelchair, looking incredibly frail and thin, that I fully realized the weight of it. Although I wasn't involved in what happened this time and can't speak to it, I told her that emotions can't be bottled up. They need to be expressed and released. As we talked, we revisited that incident from 2019. And it became clear that she was never truly able to let it go. Since that's the case, even if it means being criticized or misunderstood, it's better to speak out. In April 2019, during a break in her schedule, Lucy was in Beijing auditioning for roles. At the time, she didn't have a place to stay, so she stayed at my house. During the day, we were both busy with our own work and only occasionally ate and chatted together. But one night I came home, turned on the light, and found her curled up in the living room in the dark. I asked her what was wrong, and she said, "I don't know why they hit me. I'm really scared." I was shocked. Why? There has to be a reason, right? She told me about someone who had dragged her into the bathroom and berated her for 2 hours, saying things like how useless she was, why she couldn't land a role, and how she should reflect on why she hadn't been cast as a lead actress before. They criticized her weight and said she wasn't as good as others, just constantly putting her down. This went on until 2 a.m. Finally, because Lucy stayed silent, that person slammed the door and left. Lucy, feeling aggrieved, grabbed her bag and opened the door to leave. It was drizzling outside. That person chased after her, seemingly trying to grab her. We're not sure whether they intended to slap her or pull her hair and missed. But in any case, she was hit. She was terrified. Over the years, we've talked about this incident many times, and I've always felt guilty for not realizing how much it had been weighing on her. Both she and I thought that openly discussing what happened meant she had moved on. Lucy has been doing better and better, so we assumed she wasn't dwelling on it anymore. But when I found out she still wakes up in terror from nightmares about it, I realized that this issue was far from resolved. At the time, I asked her when it happened, and she said it was the night before. She had only gotten home to sleep at 5 a.m. after a dispute around 4A entrance of that residential complex. Since I had left early in the morning, I didn't find out about it until I came home that evening. Back then, we were both so young and knew that even if we reported it, for the next few days, she hardly slept. How could she sleep under such circumstances? I ask you, why should someone who hasn't done anything wrong have to bear such humiliation and injustice? What did she do wrong? The next day, Lucy was summoned to the company with just a simple, "I'm sorry, I was drunk." It was brushed aside and ended later. We found out that the first thing this person did in the morning was call Lucy's mom, saying how disobedient Lucy was. They were clearly planting a seed, trying to make sure that no matter what happened, her mom would understand and believe that whatever they did was for her own good. This person never once apologized to Lucy, not a single word of remorse. No matter what. What gives you the right to treat a 21 years old girl like this? There were 5 people present at the scene, all trying to restrain this raging person. Lucy's manager at the time held her in their arms, and 2 other artists also knew what happened and how dazed and distraught Lucy was during that period. With so many people witnessing it, just because you're the boss and Lucy is a young girl with no background Does that mean you can treat her this way? I will never forget her face, a face that was always so full of smiles. That night, it turned into a face of helplessness and fear, with tears streaming down uncontrollably. What I wanted to say is that Lucy has always been someone who handles everything and processes her emotions on her own. She didn't even tell me about this incident. We were still chatting as usual, and she only casually asked me, "Are you busy these days?" How could I have known she had fallen ill? It wasn't until a few days later that a friend told me. When I went back to check our chat from the 18th, I finally realized what had happened. She has always been a giving and responsible person toward her friends, her family, the people around her, and even co-stars she barely knows. She's always thinking of others. She's also incredibly strong, and many things that have happened prove how well she can handle pressure. All of us, including herself, believe this to be true. But in reality, her ability to endure pressure has been reflected in the toll it has taken on her body. When she can't process her emotions, she chooses to bottle them up and keep them to herself, without telling us because she doesn't want us to feel burdened. Until today, I can't help but think, how could the person who bullied her back then be so malicious? Truly evil to the core. Why has no one held them accountable? And now, the trolls online spouting nonsense. Don't they ever think that they too could fall ill one day? All of these people are abusers and perpetrators. Haven't there been enough tragedies caused by online bullying? I'm deeply worried about her. Given her current health, how can she possibly face the endless cycles of online harassment? Malicious reposts, rumors. So hope you guys like it. Thank you for watching.